I would start with the peace greeting, but this is not really, I don't think that the target audience would even appreciate that if I did. It might be considered hypocritical. This message is was without hatred, but there is some anger in it, I admit. First off, when I say you stupid simps, I'm referring to not only certain pickup artists and dating coaches. I'm referring specifically to the pickup artists and dating coaches who exonerate the wicked witches of the West for their deception and for their unfairness, and then want to hold men accountable for what we don't know. If you're not a pickup artist or a dating coach, but you have this attitude, I'm calling you a stupid simp too. And I don't make any apologies for it, even though this is not with hatred. I want to start by telling you something about nature. In nature, bears generally follow wolves, and they do it because bears can hunt. They're capable of it, and they've done it. They can be quite successful at it. They're fast. For their size, they're fast. And they can take down prey and tear it up. But the problem is this, though. They're still lazy. And wolves can be lazy when they're full, but they're not lazy all the time. So wolves do hunt, and because they hunt in packs, they tend to be more successful. So they bring down the kills. Bears do not follow them from a distance. Bears follow them right next to them. The wolves don't like this, but they never even try to make a show of unity until after they brought down the kill and it's dead. Then they try and harass the bears away from the kill, but none of them can take on the bear single-handedly. So they can't successfully drive off the bear. They could defend each other, but they can't successfully attack and repel the bears from the kills. So the bears walk up and they eat. And the wolves get to eat when the bears are finished. These are wolves. We are not. I'll tell you another story about nature, because you stupid simps love to talk about nature like it's always right. The bighorn sheep, as I've mentioned before, are terribly stupid. The males are outnumbered by the females by so much, and yet they bump heads with each other, giving each other brain damage, trying to compete for them walls. And the female bighorn sheep are smart enough to let this happen, but they're too stupid to understand that by all of them trying to wait for the same male to come out on top so they can share them, they are hurting their own genetic diversity. They're too dumb to think about that. A few of them are smart. And I know this sounds very selfish, but yeah, a few of them are smart. And what they do is they sneak off with the males that are not winning or even competing in these headbutting competitions. And they conceive and they bring forth the ones that are not related to all the others. And then you have some genetic diversity kept in there. Now, if this was a policy instead of an exception, you would have much more genetic diversity among the bighorn sheep. And they will probably be less susceptible to the brain damage, as well as being smart enough to say, man, this is stupid. You and I bumping heads. Hold up, how many of these females are there? Well, let them choose. There's enough for both of us. You don't even do that. We're not bighorn sheep. We're not bears and we're not wolves. Your comparisons do not hold up. You love to talk Darwin and natural selection. Actually, Darwin specified that natural selection can determine who makes it to maturity. Sexual selection determines who makes it to the next generation. Sexual selection is not always right. It ain't always wrong. He didn't endorse it, nor did he condemn it. He simply explained it. Sexual selection can help and it can hurt. It's up to the ladies. It's up to the men too. When you hear us unselected guys complain, we have a right to do so. You stupid simps. We've been lied to. You've been lied to. We're not delusional. We and you have been deluded. And it is probably the biggest conspiracy in human history. When you think about it, with no internet, no social media, no WhatsApp or Telegram, no encryption, an entire gender that is more than half the population of at least of adults has tacitly agreed to do one of two things: lie to us about what they want, or best case scenario, not tell us that the others are lying. With odds like this, you have the nerve to blame unselected men for complaining about the deception. And you have the nerve and the stupidity to tell us it's unfair, so what, change and adapt, man up and deal with it. But notice you can never say that they've been honest as a whole. You can never say that they've not been deceptive. You can never say that we knew what the game was from jump. You can't say that. So in a nutshell, you're saying to them, forgive them for claiming a football victory when they told you that they were playing basketball. Forgive them for tackling you when you were about to go for a layup because they said it was basketball and they were playing football. No. But the other thing you stupid simps do that really shows your stupidity is that you will throw other men under the bus trying to impress these broads, these wicked witches of the West. Because I'm not going to blame innocent women for something they didn't do. I am upset that they did not come forward and say that these other women were lying, but I'm not going to blame them for things they didn't do. But these wicked witches of the West that were in on the deception for the most part, you still try to impress out of some vagina by throwing other men under the bus and for things they haven't even done. Let me ask you though, when has that worked for you? Come on and tell me in the comment section if you hear this and you know you're one of these stupid simps. Come in the comment section and say, throwing you ninjas under the bus gets me this much more trim. Just go ahead and say it. Don't get on here trying to defend stupid simps. Don't get on trying to defend anything like or anyone like that. If you're going to come in here as one of them, say to us, it has this type of difference. Put some numbers on it. Also, that being said, I mention these things in nature because, you see, you love to talk about Darwin and nature as if to justify some perceived or imagined right of the female gender to en masse deceive the men. No. Nature does not even support that per se. It's neutral about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Not only are we not wolves or bears or bighorn sheep for that matter, but we are the species that when we do go hunting out in nature, other predators don't feel comfortable coming out of the sides of the woods trying to muscle us out to kill. They don't feel comfortable with something like that. You don't believe me? Watch when lions go hunting in Africa. Let's take East Africa for an example. Or South Africa. That's where you can see lions and hyenas in similar environments. When they go hunting and hyenas are around and they find out about the kill, they're going to come and they're going to harass these lions. It may not work, but they're going to do it trying to harass these lions out of a kill. The hyenas are capable of hunting. They're smart enough to do it. They're just effing lazy. There are times they do it when lions don't make kills. But when lions are around, they say, yeah, we're not going to do our own hunting. Now, Of course, when the males show up and bite and break some hyena's back, then the rest of them scatter like a bunch of punks. But what happens when human beings go and they hunt the same species, the wildebeest or the buffalo or the zebra, that the lions have taken down? The hyenas come and they see it's human beings now. They don't feel that comfortable anymore. Hyenas know not to mess with our species. They are dangerous. They are strong. They can bite off a limb easily. They still know it is not worth it to come effing with our species. They know what's up. Bears do not follow around people who go hunting because bears understand if they do follow, they got to do it from a distance, and they better not come and try to confront us about it, or they're going to be the next kill. They understand that. So now all of these animals are smarter than the bighorn sheep, more intelligent than them. If we are smarter than these particular species, then why would you jump over them to try to compare us to the bighorn sheep just in order to justify some choices that ladies make that don't even necessarily benefit them or their children in the long run? What's the reason for that? You can't justify that. So that being said, now that we got that out the way, you don't tell us, deal with it, it's unfair, just, accept it, suck it up, man up, deal with it, change and adapt. No, nigga, we are men. When the natural environment does not suit us, we make it change and adapt. We do change and adapt out of necessity, but there's always a price to pay for the natural environment just for messing with us. Even the weather changes because of human activity, because we're not going to accept being too cold or too hot. And you know what? I'm not proud of that, but I don't think we should have to accept always being too cold or being too hot. And now we're coming up with ways to even fix that. Because what they're doing in some really warm climates is they're beginning to build buildings closer together so as to provide more shade at ground level. They're going to build these wind tunnels that are very, very tall. And fans are going to draw in the cold air from the heights and circulate it around at ground level between these buildings. This is what they're calling green cities now. It's already being designed. I think it's next to Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. It's either next to Dubai or Abu Dhabi. They've already started on it. It's close to one of those two airports. It's next door to one of those two airports. That's what they're going to be doing. So in the summertime, they're not going to be too hot. They're just not going to do it. That's what human beings do. We are that smart. How dare you niggas come along and tell us that we're supposed to accept being as stupid as Bighorn sheep just so that she doesn't have to make a choice. Just so that she can play two against the middle. Alpha screws, or rather alpha breeds and beta feeds. I know that's not how it normally goes, but I'm trying not to swear. How dare you come along and tell us to be that stupid just because you are? No. We are the species that when we do hunt, other scavengers understand not to mess with us because they know we will light them on fire and burn one in front of the rest to send a message. If you don't want to burn to death, you leave us the hell alone and you wait till we're done eating. Then you can have some scraps. That's how we pull it off. We work like that. We're not the ones. We don't do the hunting so that other predators can eat because of our labor. And then we scavenge and eat the scraps. That's not how we pull it off. If we hunt deer in North America, the bear can see us and say, nope, that's human beings. They got thumbs. They control fire. And them weapons don't even have to get close in order to do any damage. Shuck that fit. I'll wait. You go ahead and eat, player. I'll wait till you done. But you want us to act like Bighorn sheep. That's what you that's what it is that you keep talking about. No, bruh. We're going to make them change and adapt. You might say they can't do it. Watch. They're already changing and adapting. It's not always for the best, but we're learning things now. COVID 19 accelerated the process, but it also accelerated men's learning curve about them. You niggas are out of business. And that stupid simping, dirty macking, throwing other guys under the bus because you're trying to get some Motrim ain't working for you. Because apparently you're just not smart enough to tell us what to do and to tell us how to view it. So you niggas need to fuck the shuck up and let us tell you a thing or two and step aside while we walk up to your younger cousins, younger brothers, sons, if you have them, grandsons, and tell them what the game is. Because if you keep getting in our way with this, not only are we still going to reach those young relatives of yours, we're going to tell them how stupid your behind has been. That even a bighorn sheep is smarter than you are. Because you're capable of knowing what your options are and still settling for the same struggles of the bighorn sheep. Because you're just that stupid of a simp. But I hope this message is a benefit, so that so that the rest of what I've been saying won't even be necessary. We're right, you're wrong. End of story. Black heart, black mind, blackout, black heterosexual non-select male power, specifically because you stupid simp niggas and your gynocrats and matriarchs don't like it.